If you guys don't know, I love creating content on YouTube. I actually I try to make a YouTube video almost every day of the week. So what we do is we try to supplement some of the content on Twitch and we move it over to YouTube. So I wanted to tell everybody in chat the story of the world's worst roommate that I had in college. No joke, this person was the world's worst roommate. Okay? The world's worst roommate. So yeah, welcome everybody that has just been catching in and watching Destiny or whatever. I appreciate you guys hanging out. It has been awesome to connect with you so far. So here's the story. So freshman year of college goes by fine, a couple bumps in the road, whatever. Sophomore year of college, I go to a school right outside. I went to a school right outside Philly, and it's a pretty small school. And my brother actually followed me to college. So he's actually 2 years younger than me, but 1 year behind in, school or whatever. So when it's my sophomore year, it's his freshman year. So he comes in and we're like, hey, let's room together. We're best friends, let's do it. So we roomed together, and we actually, like what I had done as an upperclassman, not super upper class, but I had picked one of the crappier places to live, but one of the best rooms in that crappier place. So I told my brother, I was like, hey, we're going to stay here, but this is like the best room here. It's like a really good room campus-wide. Like, it's really good. It's a 3-person room, but 99% of the time, they only fill it with 2 people. 2 people. So I was like, this is awesome. We're going to have so much room for activities, hanging out, having the buds over, having the ladies come over. Just kidding, ladies couldn't come over. It's a Christian college and we weren't allowed to be with girls and are alone in our room ever. So yeah, just the dudes. Just the dudes. I'm a dude, she's a dude, we're all dudes. But what I want to get the point I want to get across is we show up the first day. No, it wasn't the first day. 2 days before we get to college for the day, for the opening day, for first day, whatever. We get a message. We get a Facebook message saying, hey, I'm your roommate from this guy. His name was Michael. His name was, I won't say his last name, but his first name and his middle name, which was plastered on everything he owned, was Michael Angelo. So I was like, oh my gosh, we're rooming with Michelangelo, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, who loves pizza. That's pretty dope. So Michelangelo is what I called him. He liked going by Mike, but I refused by calling him Mike because what a cool name, Michelangelo. You have to go by Michelangelo if your name's Michelangelo. So, and they're 2 separate names, so it's just even better. It's just like your parents planned it out. They obviously wanted you to go as Michelangelo. So we're told that we have a roommate, and we're not happy about it. We actually contacted the student life office, and we're like, hey, we didn't agree to this. Nope. No. We did not ask for a roommate. But they're like, sorry, it just worked out that way. And we're like, this room is good for 2 people. It's not good for 3. It's not going to be good for 3. And sure enough, we had 3 people in that room. So freshmen get there early. So Michelangelo and my brother, Jake, get there. And they're, early, and they get to pick their beds. They can do everything. So I'm left with the scraps. I get the crappy desk. I get the crappy bunk bed. I get the bad outlets. I get the bad spot to put my towel. I get everything that's bad. So I get all the crappy stuff of this, small dorm room, right? And Michelangelo has the best stuff. He has everything. The best. The best. And I'm pretty mad because I'm an upperclassman, and I'm try not to get upset at this guy because he's taken the best desk, the best bed, the best spot. He's put his TV in the best spot, and his TV was crappy. So that means our TV had to go on one of our desks. That means we couldn't use our desk to do our schoolwork because the TV had to go on the desk. So I'm pretty darn sour already from the start. Michelangelo had a few problems. First day, we find out that Michelangelo is half deaf. No big deal. He's half deaf. Not a big deal, right? He's half deaf. He's half deaf. So it's not like we have to communicate with sign language. We just have to communicate a little louder or whatever. So let me pull out a chronological order here. Let me just tell you the problems with Michelangelo. And then I'll tell you kind of how everything finished out, right? Okay. So we're probably... these are the things that happen in the first 6 weeks. Maybe not even. Maybe let's say 6 weeks. In the first 6 weeks of living with Michelangelo. Michelangelo had gotten taco meat from his mom. His mom gave him taco meat and sent him home on a long weekend. Said, "Here, have some taco meat." So he got taco meat. Taco meat, if you guys don't know, will go bad after a while. So it went bad. So then at that point, the taco meat had to be thrown away. What I would have done, because most dorm rooms don't really have sinks or like kitchen sinks so you can put things in, and if you would have thrown it in the trash, it would have stunk it up. So what he decided to do was put the taco meat in. He wanted to put the taco meat down the sink drain. And every morning I worked at the library. So I worked at the library while in college, and every morning before I went to work, I would make a cup of coffee, have a little bit of yogurt with granola, and some tofu bacon. That was my breakfast. It's what I looked forward to every day, okay? I'd wake up early, go work my shift at the library, and then I had the rest of my day of classes. So I would put coffee grounds in the sink. Not a great thing to put down there, but they were very fine. They're very, sorry, not fine. They weren't fine. They're very coarse coffee grounds, which means they go down the sink easier and they don't clump together, okay? So these coffee grounds go down fine. So the taco meat is put down the drain. I get back from all my class and everything, and the entire sink is clogged. Like it's just filled with dirty brown water. And me and my brother like, why is this sink clogged? What's happening here? And he goes, "Oh, it's from Sam's coffee grounds." And I was like, "Coffee grounds don't do this." And I was like, "Why does it smell like old meat?" He goes, "Well, I put my taco meat down there." And I said, "That's why it's clogged." I was like, "You had like a pound, maybe 2 pounds of cooked taco meat that you shoved down this drain. And you're going to blame a little bit of coffee grounds for my little crappy college coffee maker? You're going to blame me for your freaking rancid taco meat that's clogging the drain?" So I said, "No, you're calling facilities. You're calling the RA. You're handling this." So my RA meets, he's like, "Hey, I heard you put coffee grounds down the drain." I was like, I did not. I was like, did Michelangelo tell you what he put down the drain? He goes, "What?" I was like 2 pounds of taco meat. And he goes, "Well, that sounds like it probably clogged it." I was like, "Yeah, coffee grounds don't clog." I was like, "Do you put coffee grounds in your drain?" And he goes, "Yeah, I have a cup of coffee every morning." I was like, so, strike one for Michelangelo. Strike two. Michelangelo was a very dirty boy. He smelled very bad. And the worst part of Michelangelo was he never washed his clothes and he never washed his towel. Now, let me tell you what happens. My face is itchy from this, from just talking about this. Now, let me tell you what happens when you don't wash your towel. It becomes to smell like mold. And what actually happens is that your towel grows mildew on it. A type of mold on your towel. And what he would do is he'd take the hottest possible shower, rinse off, he'd bring his clothes in because he could never change in front of us. Yeah, no big deal. People can't change in front of you. Not a big deal. No big deal. That wasn't weird. He would change inside there. So he'd get all hot in there, real steamy, and then he'd change in there. So he'd let all the hotness stay in there while his towel hung up on the rack. And then after that, he closed the door. So his towel is just sitting in the hot dankiness, right? So I kept asking him, like, hey, you can't leave your towel in the bathroom anymore. It smells bad. I was like, you're going to have to figure out what to do with it. So he decided to put it, Jake had a closet. Jake got second choice on the bed in the desk, so he got the closet. I got nothing that year. That was horrible. Or that part of the semester. So he decided to put it in Jake's closet. And that made Jake's clothes and Michelangelo's clothes stink. All like mildew. So now our entire room reeks of mildew. And it got to the point, weeks into the semester, me asking him daily, I was like, hey man, you gotta wash your towel. You gotta wash your towel. You've gotta wash your towel. Me being as nice as possible. Hey, you dirty little boy, you need to wash your stupid, stinking towel. Wash your towel. Wash your towel. He never did it. So we had a room inspection. It was like, you got like, I think it was like room inspection like once a month and once every other month. And it had to be like, your room had to be like in tip-top shape in the sense that your room had to like, everything had to be not broken. Okay. And you can't smell bad. Because then they're like, you're going to make this room smell bad forever. So it was room check and I wasn't going to get fined for having a smelly room. So I took that boy's towel and it turns out he had 2 towels. I took both his towels and I threw them in a trash bag and I put them outside the door and I put a note on it and said, Michelangelo, throw these out or I will. He missed the note. He didn't see it for a day. I threw out his towels. He went to go take a shower. He didn't have a towel. He got mad at me. I said, Michelangelo, you had 30 chances to clean your towels. I'm sorry. He then contacts my RA. The RA says, well, did you clean your towels? He said, no. And he goes, well, I don't blame him. Strike 2. Michelangelo trying to get me in trouble for his stinky towels. Strike 3. And then I'll tell you a little bonus action. Strike 3. Michelangelo had a problem. He had some sort of, I think it was IBS. I think it was. If you guys don't know what that is, irritable bowel syndrome. And, you know, I'm not going to make fun of him for farting. You know, he had farts. Yeah, I'm not going to make fun of him farting. He just farted a lot, you know? And he had these big, large pills that he had to take all the time. I mean, these pills, like, this is like a little lever to a lamp. They were like this big, like this tall, maybe, like, they were giant, like, pills for horses. And he took them all the time. He's like popping these pills. And it was for his irritable bowel syndrome because one time I found him on the ground and I looked at him. I wasn't like trying to like steal them or get in his privacy. I was just like, oh, what are these? Because I didn't know what they were. I didn't know who they belonged to. So I read them. I was like, oh man, like these are Michelangelo's IBS pills. So I put them back on his desk and I found out he had IBS. And that's why he's taking all these pills. And that's why he farted a lot. So I never made fun of him for farting. And I definitely couldn't make it because he had a medical condition. He just farts a lot. It's what he does. No big deal. Michelangelo lived in the bottom bunk. Okay, let me get a little bit of illustration here. Michelangelo lived in the bottom bunk. I lived on the top bunk. Now, when I had to get into bed, I had to put my phone near his desk, near his dresser, which was at his level, right? His level. So I had to put my phone here. Okay? I had to put my phone here, the charger here, and then I brought my phone up into the top bunk with me. So I had to go near his bed to plug in my phone. And then I would come around. I would come around. And I would, you know, kind of pass him as I go up the steps, like the little steps to crawl into bed. So what I would do is his back was here to me. So I would go like this and I would turn. And one night after having a rough day, I turn and he farts in my mouth. He farted in my mouth, in my face, in my mouth. And if you guys remember what I mentioned at the beginning of the story, Michelangelo is half deaf. So he has a hearing aid in the one ear. And at night and in the morning, he doesn't wear the hearing aid. He farts in my mouth. And I go, come on! I slap his bed. He doesn't wake up. Not a sound. I'm like, no, 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 no. And I'm like smacking his bed till he wakes up. He goes, oh, oh. I was like, you farted in my face. And he's like, oh, oh. And my brother's dying laughing. My brother's also kind of upset. So I get into bed, I crawl up. And at the very tail end of things, Michelangelo lets out this demon, fat, flaky fart. And it ruptures up the heat and the smell up into my bed. And I just start screaming. I just start screaming and wailing. I said, I've had it. I've had it. And I moved out the next day. And I had to tell Michelangelo why I was moving. I was like, I'm sorry, dude. I can't live with you. He goes, is it because of me? And I was like, no. And then he's like, what's it about? And I was like, the farts. The farts. So bonus, fun fact. No, I did say, no joke. I told him it's because he farted in my face. I straight up told him that. I said, you farted in my face. That's unforgivable. You can't fart in a stranger's face and expect them to forgive you and want to live with them. There's absolutely no way. There's no way. So, bonus factoid about that would happen almost every morning. Almost every morning, Michelangelo would wake up. He would try to wake up before me. I woke up really early. I woke up really early to go work my shift at the library. And he would try to wake up before me. I don't know why. He would try to wake up before me. And whenever he woke up, he would try to talk to me in the morning. Or he would stand in my way. It was a small room, right? And I'd be like, hey, Mike, can you move over? Michelangelo, can you move over? And the problem is because he's half deaf and not wearing his hearing aid, he can't hear too well. So it's not a big deal. The problem is that he would, I think it was his left ear. He would hold his left ear to me, the one that can't hear, and he would go, huh? And I'm like, can you move over? And he'd go, huh? And I'm like, can you move over? And he would point the bad ear at me as if trying to understand what I'm saying. So I would try to get over to the other ear, right? I would be like, can you move? And he's like, huh? And I'm like, and I would just swear. I would like, just move. And he'd be like, oh, why didn't you say so? And I'm like, yeah, and yeah, it was a crazy time in my life. That was a tale of my worst roommate, and I will never miss Michelangelo. At one point, he asked me, "Oh man, I really liked rooming with you guys. You know, maybe we can do it next semester." And I was like, "Sorry, man. I really like staying in my own room." He goes, oh, well, I thought we had a lot of fun. And I was like, I stayed silent.